All right, if you're searching for a travel backpack, a collapsible backpack, something you can put in your carry-on luggage, I think this video is gonna be for you. I spent 6 months on the road last year traveling in 2023, and what I learned in that process was when you have carry-ons and you have a personal item and you can make that work, you're in great shape and you don't have to check bags. And so I'm gonna show you the top 2 choices I made, the comparison between the Matador Refraction backpack, collapsible backpack, and the Nomatic collapsible backpack. There's a couple things that I need for the backpacks. One, I need to be able to use it, and it needs to be able to hold my laptop. So I have a 16-inch MacBook Pro M2 Max. This computer needs to fit in my backpack. The reason being, these backpacks are day packs. They're kind of the day-to-day, get around town, wherever I'm staying, I wanna be able to have a backpack that really works well to pack the essentials. The other thing is, it needs to be able to pack down really compact. When you put it in your carry-on, it can't be something that takes up a bunch of space. It's gotta be something that fits in there, makes sense. If it can fit my computer setup, which is dual monitor, I've got my cables, my monitors, my keyboards, my roost stands, if it can fit all that in there and maybe also a water bottle, it's probably gonna be functional. And then really, how big is it? How well does it collapse? And how does it feel? What's the build quality, right? So we'll look at all of that in this video and we'll break it down as we go through. So for me, the biggest priority is going to be, one, it's a non-starter if it can't even fit my computer in there. So we're gonna test that first. And then secondly, what's the pack size and the quality of the build? The Nomatic is clearly a bigger backpack. If I put my laptop here, you can see there's a tremendous amount of room in here for even more stuff. And then I have a 4K external monitor. It's very thin. This thing just goes in when I travel, and that usually fits, if anything else, with the monitor, because together the monitor and the laptop are basically the same thing. It just adds another 3/4 of an inch to the thickness of the computer. This is my sort of bag smart, has all my dongles, has all my power adapters, my headphones. So when you go fishing for stuff, it's not all jumbled and jungled. And this keyboard usually is in here as well. So ironically, this is my travel keyboard, and it's a Bluetooth USB-C chargeable keyboard. It's got an ergonomic sort of angle to it, and this thing goes right in. Why do I have this keyboard? Well, when I put my laptop on a stand, I have 2 of these. They fit in, no problem for the Matador. Zips up, tremendous amount of room. I still have room to kind of throw in a camera. I could throw in a camera with this setup. I could literally have my camera in here. I could have everything I want. What about a water bottle? Well, fortunately, I guess it fits. So we've got a water bottle on the side, quite a bit of room. And then there's some cushioning on the bottom here, which is great. Now the strap construction, honestly, I kind of feel like the Refraction bag has better stitching and it feels like it's more beefy, but they're both gonna be fine. Like look, this is not some cheap concept. This bag is retailing at 90 bucks, so I'm seeing like pretty good setup there. It has some cushion there, but I could see it kind of getting sweaty and hot. As far as the Refraction, this thing is smaller. Kind of feels almost like a little bit of a man purse. But there's enough room in here to get your computers in here. Computers fit in, dongles fit, as does the roost stand. You've got room for it all. It works. It's not gonna have as much capacity in the extra. The other thing about this bag is if you just wanted to go out with your camera and go shooting, get content, because sometimes wherever you're staying, you're not taking your computer with you. So from my perspective, that's another concept here that is very interesting to think about. This bag is smaller, so let's see if we can fit this water bottle in here. Look, it's kind of clunky. It looks a little weird. Actually, if you push it in, it does the water bottle. And I think this comes with a 1-year warranty. So, in terms of like performance, the stitching, quality, I think you get the same warranty on both. I'll double check that. Overall, you're looking at $60 versus $90. And yeah, let's talk about the collapsibility, because that's obviously a big one, right? How compact do these laptops get? Everything fits in the backpacks, both of them. If you really wanted more capacity, you're gonna get a little limited with the Matador. So the Matador Refraction is gonna limit you to about what you see. A couple laptops, maybe an external monitor, and then you're gonna have a smart bag with all your cables and dongles, a couple of these, a mouse, and then you've got a water bottle. And that's about the extent of what you can fit in there. You could squeeze in a few other things. There's a top pack here, but in terms of the Nomatic, you get a lot more capacity. Now, as far as the actual zippers and all of that stuff, this feels like it gives you a little bit more if you're actually planning on doing some hiking, and that's really more of your vibe. For me, I think this is enough to get by if I'm doing like light day hiking. And here's the big kicker, right? This is probably the biggest deal breaker for me, is if we pack these things down and we really get into it, this thing does pack pretty nicely. Like, it has the ability to kind of stuff everything in here. So the straps they kind of fold in. And then basically what you have is you just have these two sort of like a taco here that zips together, zips all the way. And this is what it looks like. Pretty compact, right? Not too crazy, but this one, it's literally this. I mean, you can punch this thing down to about that much, this, right? And especially when you think about size, I'd say that you can pack this refraction bag about half the size of the Nomatic, where the Nomatic gives you probably about 40% more capacity. So you do have more capacity, but there's definitely some room in here that's not, you know, being optimized. Now, from my perspective, you need a great substantial kind of day pack when you're traveling. This one actually hits the mark. It's like the perfect size. It holds all my stuff. So I wanted to use it as a computer, kind of go to the WeWork day to day. I could do that. And it's not like overkill, and it packs so small where I could also just, you know, take the camera out and use this, and it's got some good sort of structure to it and some good compartments. Now, it's more of like a waterproof style, so you know, the material is more nylon-y and you're gonna get more weatherproofing in it, which is great, you know, if you're dealing with weather. On the flip side, you know, if you're gonna go on a day hike and you're getting a little sweaty, it's definitely gonna be, neither of these are gonna be that comfortable for hiking, right? They're not as breathable as like an Osprey hiking pack. But in terms of being collapsible, I cannot stress to you enough like how awesome that is when it comes to being an entrepreneur, having versatility of equipment, and being able to pack what you need. Things like packing cubes have been lifesavers. Having a really good carry-on and having a great personal bag item has been a lifesaver as well. So from that perspective, these bags are rad. And for me personally, the Matador Refraction is the way to go, just because of how much more compact it is. And the Nomatic is probably a great option for someone who likes a little bit more bells and whistles, wants a bit of a bigger back pack. That's it. I think it's 90 bucks versus 60. So you're paying about, you know, 40% more. You're getting about 40% bigger bag, and the compactness of them, I would say, because this is just literally like you can smash this material down. This one's more, you're kind of stuck with this cushion. This is a more collapsible device for sure. It's about 60% smaller. This, for context, was the bag that I bought while I was hiking in Tucson. I think it was like maybe 25 bucks, but you can kind of see the stitching is coming undone here on the seams, like where we have a contact here. The stitching here is kind of like falling apart at the contact here. This bag just doesn't have a lot of structure. It's literally just this nylon bag with a couple straps stitched into it, and then it's got a top compartment. So whenever I was throwing my camera gear, all my stuff into this bag, it just sucked. And my carry-on is this one. But I don't want to carry this thing around when I'm in the destination. I don't want to walk around the city of Tel Aviv in Israel, which is what I did last year, and have this huge thing, or Jerusalem. There's too much room for it. I lose what I'm trying to find. I want something more lightweight, something more comfortable that just fits a few items. Let's start with the Nomatic. It's the bigger of the two, and let's just see how it fits, how it looks, how it feels, and then we'll go to the Matador. So from the top, there's adjustments on the strap. You can kind of see there's a little adjustable thing here that can clip. I don't really ever use those. Back cushion, yeah, the cushions feel good on my tail. They actually has a nice little cushion to me from the side. So pretty comfortable, decent style, nothing crazy, right? Okay, cool. We've got the Matador bag. So I can already tell this one's definitely a little bit more compact. It sits a little higher on the back. So it's got a very interesting connection here that does make it pretty easy to adjust. And these pieces are a little bit smaller. Let's see if I can get this to open up a little. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's the bag. And then in terms of how it sits on my back, it's smaller, right? It's got a better, does definitely not have the padding. So you're gonna feel the edge of your, whatever you have here on your back if you have it sitting this low. So what I would probably do, to be honest, is pull the straps up a little bit and have it sit a little higher so it sits more on my back. So that gets it off of my butt in low back. But I guess you can kind of be the judge of what you think here. But I think in terms of, you know, look and feel, the other bag definitely has a bit more comfort. I will not disagree with that. The cushioning allows it to be a little bit more comfortable. But the fact that it actually holds everything, like to me, it's acceptable. It doesn't fail the requirement, right? It holds all my stuff. It's not crazy uncomfortable or anything like that. It's a little bit of a bump on my back, but honestly, this would not be a deal breaker for me. Hope that made sense. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If that it resonates with you and you enjoyed this content, you'll probably find some of my other content pretty engaging, and I encourage you to subscribe and drop a comment. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.